What's up guys, Jivan back with another video. In today's video, I'm going to be letting you guys get inside my mind on how I was able to frag out in 2 stacked arena lobbies. My goal is to help you understand how to get more kills in arena and how to rotate while fragging in stacked arena games. Before we hop into it, please consider using code JivanTV in the Fortnite item shop. It helps me out a ton. Without further ado, let's get into this video. So in the first game here, I landed pretty safe. If I'm ever having a rough day landing at POIs like, Steamy or whatnot, I'll switch it up and go somewhere low-key like this. When I saw this guy pushing from Caddy, I launch padded all the way over to Lazy because I didn't want to fight since I didn't have shield. I got minis at Lazy and then dumpstered on this guy. He was sweating his butt off, but I managed to clutch up. So once I get max shield, I'm usually okay to fight off spawn. I had a shield, I had shotgun, so I'm just looking for fights. Somebody pushed up, I don't know what they were doing, but another free kill. And then another one pushes up right after and it's another free kill. So that was everybody at Lazy. At this point, it's mid-game. I'm trying to get deep into the zone so I'm not stuck on edge here. However, while I was rotating, I do get pushed, and so I just fight that confidently. The goal of a mid-game fight is just to end it as fast as possible before third parties can show up, and that's exactly what I did. Let me tell you how I was able to piece control this guy here. So I started the fight off really strong here by doing this Thwifo cone, and then editing a window in one of the walls and placing a cone over top of him. Once I got that cone on top of him, I wanted to get to his side as fast as possible to try to get an angle. I got that nice quick shot on him, and then you can see the wall on the left side is missing in his box. So I pre-box out that side because I know that's the way he's gonna go. Then I just had to hit my shot to clean it up. Because I cleaned that fight up so fast, I was able to rotate deep into zone. While I was rotating, I noticed some people fighting over here, and a lot of people's first instinct is to push that. The reason I didn't push is because I saw 2 people fighting already. I knew more third parties were gonna roll up, and I actually already saw a third party rolling up to it. So I went and picked a fight in Pleasant Park. Since I got there so early, I figured there wouldn't really be any third parties, which there really weren't. But the person that I fought there was cracked, and the fight went on from when I had 1500 mats to when I had hardly any mats at all. It went on for so long. So that put my game into complete shambles. Let's check out this fight real quick before we go into the shambles late game. So for most of the fight, we were just building without really getting much damage dealt to each other. So I just skipped most of that. At this point in the fight, we were both weak, we were both low on mats, and so I just went for a nice play here. It was so sneaky. So right here at this point in the fight, we both knew we needed to do something. I took this risky shot, but I ended up winning the trade. And I tried to pre-fire his peak from this floor edit that he made. Since I knew he was one shot, I might have been able to finish it, but I couldn't. And then right here, I knew he had just reset the wall, so I sprayed through it because I knew he was healing in there. And I didn't want this fight to go on any longer, or else both our games were just over. So then I figured he would make a peak, so I reset my wall and just sprayed through it, and I was able to get that last shot. That was crazy. So following that fight, I knew I needed a refresh, so I go for this kill down low. And when he takes this wall here, I could have tried to get out, but I needed the refresh. I was willing to take a 50-50 in this situation. I just bobbed and weaved like I was playing aim duels and was able to clean it up with this last piece control play. I saw he was going to the side and he didn't have this wall yet, so I claimed it, and when I got that wall, the fight was over. So I've been working on W keying recently, and so I just immediately tried to go and take another fight, but this dude got me super weak, and this is where the shambles late game starts. Because after I got weak there, I got psychoed by 3 people for a solid minute or 2, and I had no mats after that. I healed up with the cabbage, but I still needed mats. Luckily, this zone was situated in Pleasant Park, so I just started farming buildings until I had enough mats where I could actually make a play to get a refresh. So once I got good mats, I just got situated on edge of zone, and then once the next zone appeared, I instantly got ahead, situated myself over there, but I got fried out of the sky and then got psychoed by literally everybody around me until I had hardly any mats left. I made a last second launch pad play out of there, based up, and then somebody else starts pushing right away. At this point, I only have 1 build, and so right away I tried to take a peek shot on the opponent to get the pressure off me, but I didn't connect, and so I tried to dip out of there. Realizing I had no builds, I turn around and go for a really risky 50-50 play. The reason it worked is because he thought I had edited out the back, and the element of surprise is so good in Fortnite. So he was taken off guard when I jumped in his face, and then I got the spare mats that were on the side and healed up. So I finally got the pressure off of me and I just started farming up this building, trying to get as much as I could for this late game. I can't believe I found that launch pad just chilling there, and also the zone pulled right towards me, so this was a blessing and a half. Regardless, we had to play this really smart to win it, because we only had enough mats to make it a decent way into the zone. So the best thing I could do in this situation is just rotate through buildings while farming on the way there. By doing this, it makes me go from completely shambles to only semi-shambles, and I'm able to make a push on this player here. I could have honestly just psychoed into his box because he was healing up. I was already full health, so I had a health advantage, but I was able to take his wall first try and get that kill. And then I just gotta use this launch pad that I got earlier to get ahead of zone and pop a med kit to get that white health back. Right as the next zone starts pulling, I immediately start my rotate. I try to stay ahead of zone that way. By staying ahead of zone, you save so many mats because you don't have to full tunnel your way to zone, and you don't have to worry about people spraying at you from ahead. I heard them fighting, and that's why I turned around here. Turns out it's just a 1v1, so I immediately get that player pressured. I could have placed a ramp over top of me here to protect him from full boxing me, but I wanted to get a shot on him. Turns out he was healthier than I thought, and he hit me max damage with attack. So not looking that great on my end, but I got a feel of what kind of player this guy was during that play. I knew that he was just going to edit course and take 50-50s, and so I used that to my advantage and tried to let him edit course me and take peek shots from the side like I did here. I didn't have many mats, which is why I was playing so safe with them, while he was just edit coursing around like crazy. And you know what happened? Exactly. He just fell to his death because I let him waste all his mats. So main takeaways from that game: try to avoid fights off spawn if you don't have shield or a shotgun. I always try to get shield and a shotgun before fighting. Also in mid game and late game, try to avoid fighting on the edge of zone because that's going to be a shambles fight where lots of third parties approach. And lastly, if you're shambles in late game, take time to try to farm mats until you have enough mats to make a play and get a refresh. And of course, stay ahead of zone. Now in this next game, it was a lot less shambles because I played the entire match very smartly. So I landed at Holly and I heard a llama over here, and so I snuck over to it, little sneaky approach to the llama. And as soon as I got that, somebody pushed me for some reason. I was way more kitted, so I just used my mats to win this fight. This player was cracked at fighting, but I had just gotten the llama, so it was kind of a bad push because he literally ran out of mats so fast and I had endless mats. So following that, I rotated all the way across the map because that's where zone pulled, and I started looking for fights. Like I said, I've been working on my W King, so I tried to find some fights. Someone pushed me right on the edge of zone, which is not exactly where I wanted to fight, but I had no choice. But luckily, I was able to end this fight super fast. Let's break it down. So it started off with me getting a big chip damage with a right hand peek, and then check what I do. I do the Noah Rayleigh ramp phase trick. Once I get that ramp in their box, I try to predict which way they're gonna go. I predicted the wrong way, but right here, I get this box off to their side and they end up running right into there, and then I'm able to clean it up by claiming their back wall and editing on them. This game is literally like a game of chess, bro. You try to predict and stay ahead of the other opponent's movement, and you'll be able to clean up a lot more fights. Right after that, I saw a fry opportunity here, and it didn't seem like there were too many players around me, so this was a decent fight to take. I think a majority of the players rotated through Corny Complex in this game, so it kind of worked out. This fight, the enemy just gave up right away. I don't know what happened, bro, but hey, I'll take it. So I know a lot of you aren't trying to W key lobbies like I am, so just stay tuned. Like in these situations, just keep rotating to zone and staying boxed up and staying safe. But you are going to need to be ready for W keyers like me to come around because they're kind of inevitable. So I got this dude weak and he ended up launching away, so I just followed that up and shot him through the cornfield here. And then right after that, I heard another person lurking in the corn, and so I tried to get some damage dealt, but they did a lot of damage to me. And so I just started branching out like crazy. This player was a psycho. They were actually so weak and they kept pushing. But by just branching out, giving myself room to move, keeping a cone in my box, I was able to catch this guy off guard with a little pre-fire. So at this point in the game, there's still a lot of people alive, and if you're gonna W key lobbies like this, for the most part, you're gonna wanna be doing a box fight situation when there's this many people around you. So when I'm approaching this player, I'm just kind of playing in my box, making sure all my angles are blocked off, and then starting up a box fight. If the opponent ever starts getting sprayed from the other direction like this player was here, you wanna keep the pressure on. But if you're in that guy's situation, you wanna branch out to the side. Try to get out of the center of attention, that way you can give yourself room to move. But one of the key goals of W keying in late game is to not get focused like that. If you do get focused from behind and in front, you're going to be in trouble. So I played that situation perfectly and then started looking for another fight. And at this point I was streaming and my chat was like, do the Martaz trick, do the Martaz trick. And I was like, oh yeah, we're doing the Martaz trick. If you guys don't know how to set this trick up, go check out my new video on my second channel called JivanTV. The video is called How to Push a Box. But yeah, I just absolutely destroyed this dude. Immediately after I get that kill, I just launched a zone. The reason I pushed that guy, I did have 4 launches, so it wasn't a big deal if I got caught on the back edge of zone here, because I could easily just launch ahead. As you saw, I psychoed into this guy's box. Once I got stuck in his builds, I immediately just focused on getting out the side, because I didn't want to be trapped in there. And then once I got that big hit on him, you know, he launched away, I had to follow that up because he was super weak. Just by keeping the pressure on in this fight, I was able to win that one. And then starts the moving zones. This moving zone, I played so well. It's a perfect example. Let's take a look at it. To start off, you know, I just launch pad to the front of zone. Like I said in the last game, you know, staying ahead of zone is the move. And I still had another launch pad in my inventory, so when I get ahead of zone, I just immediately start looking for picks. And I don't need to worry about staying ahead in this situation because I have a launch pad to get ahead. So I'm just trying to get a bunch of kills while I can. I couldn't believe it. It was like Christmas for me when I saw 3 people start build fighting. I just shot it out. It was only held up by one thing. As soon as I got that build fight shot out, I just launch padded ahead of zone again. I went for this box fight because I was in zone and we still had like 20 seconds until the next zone started moving, but I got kind of lasered here, so I just took time to heal. And then I saw a bunch of shambles people trying to get up the mountain, so I looked for an angle to hold on them and I was able to get big damage dealt. And so I just keep pressure on that player that I hit super hard, because if I could keep track of them, that was a free kill. I end up following them up here and I'm able to get right into their box, and zone was on our back, so I just finished that right away with a 50-50 and then got ahead of zone. In that situation, I had a big health advantage, so it was okay to take a 50-50 there. So after that, I start rotating ahead of zone, trying to get healed up on my way there. I was able to eat some corn off the ground, which was clutch. And then immediately I look up and I noticed that they were build fighting on high ground, and so I shot that out, got a free kill, and then immediately I knew there was only one player left, so I start fighting them. I get a big hit, and then at that point I just got to keep the pressure on to win this match. So biggest things that I did right in that game was box fighting everybody in late game. You don't want to start build fights. It's a little bit sketchy when there's lots of players around because you will get sprayed at. So making sure you're protecting your angles and box fighting your opponents is the best way to key in late game, especially when it's stacked like this. And then in the moving zones, I did a great job of keeping my awareness up. By simply looking around in my rotates, I was able to find tons of free kills and shambles players, and I was able to basically just clean up the entire lobby and get a high kill win. Hopefully this video helped you out. If it did, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, use code JivanTV in the item shop, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.